I guess this one will be, one second, all right, here we go. This one will be a little bit about, I've talked about how I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and unfortunately with that can often come some not great tendencies. My therapist, I have this deep fear that I'm secretly a narcissist. Because that would mean something's wrong with me and like I'm deeply unlovable. There's the fear of that. And, I tell my therapist about that. And she's like, Shiv, you're not a narcissist. You were abused by a narcissist. It's very difficult. So growing up, my mother, I lived in a state of terror about my grades, especially after the 5th grade. I learned to forge signatures on my report cards from 3rd grade onwards. It must have been 8. And it became that like the only value that I hold is being intelligent. Because I'm like a decently intelligent guy. And that's the only value that I held for myself for so long. And it's been interesting. This week I've had the flu for the first half of the week. And thank God I got the vaccine. So it made the intensity much less. But it's hard because that means I don't go to work. And I want to work from home, but I'm way too tired. And not only that, I feel this immense pressure, like I should be resting. And then when I try and rest, it's like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not working? I'm a failure. It's like, dude, you have the flu. Take it easy. But it's hard. And the reason being is that, like, I always felt like I had to do something big. And I always felt like I needed some huge accomplishment. And mostly it was so my mom would love me. And it's not just so that she would love me, but it's also so that the pain would stop. This is one memory from when I was probably in the 7th grade. They would hand back these midterm report cards, and you have to get your parents to sign it and then bring it back. And I didn't do so well because I was getting bullied at school, and just also bullied at home, I guess. So just anxious. So I didn't do amazingly. And when I say I didn't do that well, it means I must have gotten a couple of B's. That's how I really had to get straight A's. Otherwise, I had a joke like B is for beating. It's kind of a not the best joke. I'm sorry. Yeah, you see, I laugh to cope, but yeah, I must have had a few B's. So I forged the signature and I brought it back to my teacher. And my mom knew when the midterm reports would be going home. So I was really on edge for about a week. And at some point, she asks me, what happened with that? And I don't remember what I said, but I think she understood I was lying. And then she pressured it out of me. And ultimately I confessed, yeah, I forged the signature and I lied, yeah. And lying to them was the biggest sin. Like, you can never lie to your parents. Isn't it crazy? I lie. I do something and I get punished greatly. And because I get punished greatly and I'm so fearful, I'll lie. And then because I lie, I get punished double. But then I also, get punished for the initial thing. And then there's also the off chance that they don't catch it. They didn't catch it sometimes. And then I'd feel like, thank God. But I remember she would just beat me mercilessly. Beat me a few times for the initial thing. Because you had bad grades. Just beat me a few times. And then second time beating me for forging the signature. And then a few more for just lying. And I remember it wouldn't just be her. And then I'd have to wait. I'd wait till my dad gets home. And I think he'd hit me too. I don't remember. I know it wasn't as bad as my mom, but it threatened to take away my video games and everything. And the long-term effects of this is like, first of all, I was so terrified of doing anything less than perfect in terms of academics and job, that my work, that I have a hard time relaxing. I'm sick with the flu this week. I've been coughing and I still have a hard time relaxing. It's pretty sad. I was just, it's like, I'm not narcissistic. It's just this thought loop in my head of like, I'm a loser because I'm not doing a lot of good work, or I'm not making a lot of money. Like, one of my roommates from college, he was an investment banker, and he's probably making six figures, and I don't make six figures, I'll tell you that. And then there's just the voice in my head of like, you're a loser, and I've gained weight. I've put on some weight, and I got bullied because I had a level of belly. When I was a young kid, I remember I got thrown in a closet one time, and while they were throwing me in the closet, my shirt came up, and then they said, "Oh, look at how fat he is," and boom, like, I guess body image issues for the rest of my life. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I've become this fat loser who doesn't make enough money, and these are things, I never felt like I was loved for who I am. That's the worst part. I'm an intelligent person, but that's all my mother valued in me, and that too is just for her usage. Didn't value that I'm a creative person, I can be, emotionally sensitive. Well, she valued that insofar as it would help her. Not that I was kind, or, I really cared about animals. I spent a lot of time researching endangered species and what conservation is like. That was really important to me, and she didn't give a fuck. My mom didn't know who I was, and it's sad because she probably spends every day wondering where I am, wishing that I'd talk to her. It's like, why? You don't know who I am. You just want me to talk to you because you are ashamed, and I'm not giving you the supply. But it's sad. The sadder thing is that I'm living with this, just beating myself up constantly for these little things that don't actually matter in the long run. Like, nobody cares if I look like, if I'm chiseled Hercules or something. I used to care. I used to try and lift weights, really care about my body fat percentage to the nearest decimal. One of the nice things about recovery is I've had a lot of very wonderful people come into my life in the last few years, and also good friends that I've had for a longer time. But yesterday this morning I went through and I made a list of things that people love about me, and I wrote down everybody who's like really been a good friend, or shown appreciation for having me in their life, and my intellect is not in there. It's like a nice plus side, but that's not really it. They really care that, like, I'm an introspective guy. I'm compassionate. I like to think I am. I'm a compassionate person. I'm striving to better myself. I'm doing this healing. I can provide a good, safe area for people to talk to, and I try and see from their point of view. I think these are things that people appreciate about me. My mother never appreciated about me, and I didn't get appreciation for when I was younger, because I had to be the smartest. I had to not be fat. I had to be athletic, and that's the sad part. So, I guess this is it makes me pretty sad, I do feel like I've really tortured myself in many ways, but I was also tortured when I was younger in that way. If you're able to relate to this, maybe it might help to just make a list of the people in your life and see what they appreciate about you. And, if you have some loving people there, I think it'd be really healing to see that. Like, a lot of the times, the love that, at least for me, the love that I get is not for those things that that internal narcissistic hamster demands that I have. Something worth trying out. It helped me yesterday and this morning. Anyways, thank you for watching.